Hey, this is Dr. Barrett. Thanks for joining us on the Real Health Podcast. My passion is to help equip you with information that can change your life, the health of your life, and the health of your families. I'm a board-certified chiropractic physician with a passion and emphasis in nutrition and sleep and how to biohack the body to get to a greater level of health. Thanks for listening in to the Real Health Podcast. Welcome back to another episode of the Real Health Podcast. Hey, I've taken a few weeks off. We recorded a ton of content post-fast. So if you were with me, the last recordings, we talked about water fasting only for multiple days. I've had a lot of people just comment on they gave water fasting a shot, whether it was like 12 hours, 2 days, and then I had actually someone I coached did a 10-day water fast, which was awesome. He wanted to go 21. I talked him to 10. He was super successful. Anyway, if you are interested in learning about fasting, the benefit of fasting, go back to the previous episodes so you can learn what happens on each day of my 7-day water fast. I am now weeks past that. I'm back to full training, and so what I found was that fast was super beneficial for a lot of things. One, helped reset my gut. Two, I've just had a killer immune system. So we talked about that, how fasting creates this natural upregulation of the immune system, actually helps recycle your whole immune system. And so if you know you're like just chronically sick or inflamed, and you're trying to rebuild your immune system, water-only fasting is one of the best ways to do that. Today, we're actually going to talk about immune system health. We're getting into spring, and spring can bring a lot of allergies, particularly sinus infections, ear infections, and so we're just going to talk about, hey, what is like one of the most important things that you can be doing to enhance immune system health, especially now being allergenic season, and then this is even going to transfer into a daily nutrient that I consume on a regular basis. So when we think about immune health, most of us associate immunity with our digestive system, and that's a right association. 80% of your immune system is gut-related. It's built upon the nutrients you're consuming, the food you're consuming, the fiber you're consuming, the bacteria, probiotic support, and so we talked about it. Hey, eat clean foods, natural foods, whole foods, quality protein, high fiber, low glycemic, whole foods, right? We talk about fermented foods, probiotics, how they're rich, like through kimchi and sauerkraut and fermented vegetables, how we want to be consuming those to get diverse bacteria, but it also provides us with enzymes for our digestive system. Today, we're going to touch base on a nutrient called colostrum. Colostrum is something that you may be familiar with as a mom. It is that first part of breast milk that women give to the infant, and it helps kickstart their immune system. It helps drive digestive health in the early stages, and it's packed full of something called immunoglobulins, which helps regulate a child's immune system. All mammals have colostrum in milk, and so we're going to specifically talk about bovine colostrum. So this is obviously colostrum from cows, but you can take powdered colostrum, and powdered colostrum is something I take every day, and I'm going to talk about the benefits of it and why I take it. But it's actually my favorite nutrient right now. Through all the research and all the things that we're diving into. On a day-to-day basis, colostrum has been my go-to. So the first thing to talk about with colostrum, let's just talk about what we just got out of, like flu, colds, COVID, viruses. Did you know colostrum in clinical studies was 3 times more effective at preventing the flu than the flu vaccine? So just colostrum stand alone as an antiviral or immune strengthening product is pretty awesome. So again, kind of put this in your knowledge bank to think about next winter season when all these viruses are circulating. Colostrum is definitely a go-to. So colostrum has this really powerful immune support benefit to it, but it also supports the digestive system. So colostrum, the immunoglobulins in colostrum are specific to actually binding and chelating or holding on to toxins in the digestive system. So they actually bind something called endotoxins, which are bacterial toxins in the digestive system that create harm and havoc to the intestinal lining. They help strengthen the intestinal barrier. So colostrum's fantastic for leaky gut health situations. And most people, when they think about the digestive system and they think about leaky gut, immediately you're probably thinking, well, I can't take colostrum. It comes from milk, and I'm reactive to dairy. Well, more than likely you're reactive to what's called casein, and colostrum is devoid, well, certain types, I should say, not all, but certain varieties of colostrum is actually devoid of casein and whey protein that can cause gut reactions or allergenic responses. So colostrum is even safe for people that are dairy reactive or dairy sensitive. Colostrum is not only great for fortifying the immune system, being antiviral, supporting the digestive system, but it's actually one of the best ways to build healthy lean mass. So if we think about growth hormone production and we think about strength and building lean mass, this is so important. As we age, it's more difficult to build muscle. And so we always talk about building muscle is so vital to longevity. And actually, a lot of longevity research directly is associated with how strong people are. The stronger people are, the longer they live. There's also something called VO2 max. The higher your VO2 max, the longer you live. Colostrum has a really unique ability at actually helping the body recover. And as it helps the body recover through the growth hormone system, it allows you to train and push maybe more resistance or higher efforts. And this allows you to kind of prevent that like super soreness that lasts maybe for days, okay? And why this is important is because as we age, our like anti-inflammatory system in our recovery system is depleted. And so, right, if we utilize colostrum, even as like a post-workout aid, it helps support the recovery and the repair process of what we just did in the gym. So really cool for even just like muscle synthesis and repair mechanisms. So again, helps the immune system, helps the gut, helps growth and repair. And then it also is just an immune regulator. So when it comes to like allergies, specifically like sinusitis, what we have to realize is the immune system is probably what we call Th2 dominant. And when we look at the immune system, there's two like mechanisms of how it regulates. And this is very simplified, but it's either Th1 or Th2 dominant. And that pendulum, if it swings to more of a Th2 dominant immune system, you're going to have more allergies, allergenic. You're going to be more asthmatic. So anything that we can do to actually dampen that Th2 immune response is really effective for allergies. Okay, and one thing that you can do is like vitamin D and getting sunlight. Proper sleep and recovery is so important. Chiropractic care is an amazing way at actually helping regulate immune health. And of course, colostrum. Colostrum has a unique ability at helping regulate the immune system. And so this is why I'm a big fan. I consume it every day. And I'll usually put it in, it's a powder, put it in my like smoothies or sometimes just a straight up like shaker bottle. I would be mindful of the type of colostrum that you are considering buying. So what I would suggest is, if you're like, hey, this is something that I'm interested in, reach out to us directly. We'll tell you the exact brand, because the one that I consume is called TheraPRP, and this is a powdered-based colostrum that I use, again, every day. So if we're thinking about the spring season, we're thinking about allergies and the cold system. Hey, I just want to jump on, talk about this amazing nutrient that I'm using every single day, for other reasons, but also how it could be practical in this season. Outside of colostrum, make sure you're irrigating your sinuses, okay? So if we're talking about how to build a healthy immune system to prevent allergies this season, or even reduce them, okay? First one is colostrum. Second, nasal irrigation. When you irrigate the nasal passage, it helps kind of clean out a lot of the pollen and debris and viral loads that may be existing within the sinus cavity. So making sure that you're doing just saline nasal irrigation. Again, going back to chiropractic care, helps not only immune regulation, but also helps the drainage systems of the body, helps the lymphatic system drain. And then this is a great time to be doing sauna. Sauna is wonderful at helping detox the body. It helps, again, regulate immune system health, and does help promote lymphatic drainage. So if you need help this season, this spring season, at helping regulate the immune system, helping fight seasonal allergies, try some of these tips and tricks, and you'll typically see results. Going back to this, and this is a big plug, but remember, the foundation of good health is eating clean, healthy foods, eliminating processed foods, sugars, okay? Eliminating alcohol, right? Things that are inflammatory to the body. Getting good night's sleep. Moving your body every day. I don't care if it's just walking or resistance training, but you're moving your body every day. You're getting adjusted, okay? And you are engaging in some type of spiritual health, right? So meditation, prayer, reading God's word, but just calming things down, taking a moment, doing some breath work, and de-stressing your life. So thanks for joining another episode of the Real Health Podcast. Again, always excited to share content. And what you guys want to hear about, just make sure you direct message us through Instagram, or call the offices. Let us know what you want to hear, and we'll talk about it in the weeks ahead. Have a blessed day.
Before you hit X, hold on 1 second. Hey, thanks so much for listening to the podcast today with Dr. B. 2 things that would really help the Real Health Podcast movement. 1, share it on your social media, your Facebook, your Instagram, wherever you're on a social network. And 2, if you go to Apple Podcast and you scroll down, give us a 5-star rating and give us a review. Thanks so much for your time, and we'll see you next episode.